Welcome to all the classic car enthusiasts. Just putting up a video of some things that we've done on this red Mini to get the boot panel lines better, and showing a little bit of the interior as well. The rest of the interior will be going in just to check everything, and unfortunately there's a couple of panels that are wrong, but I've managed to get them changed from Newton. The other thing I'm going to show is Paul Jeffries. This is the gentleman that's building the 1310 hill climb engine for us in the UK. He is a engine and gearbox specialist. He does basic mini engines as well, or can uprate them, fast road cams, race cars, hill climb cars, whatever. So his site is Paul Jeffries. Now he's put up a video of the the dry decking that's going to be done on the engine for our car, and so I'm going to put it up onto my site, because basically I want to show how we're going to build this car, how we're going to build the body, all the processes that go into it. So he's going to be sending me on videos. He probably will put them up on his own site as well, but I'd like to stick them up on mine and keep a record of it as well. So I'm going to show you that bit of footage from him, which explains the dry decking, why it's done and how it's done and so on. It's just a mock-up of it, because the cylinder head that we've got has to be machined yet to accept the dry decking port. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the video. So we are now really getting seriously into this, buying the parts for the engine. The crankshaft we've already got. It's a one-piece billet specially made for the car. It's not a original mini crank which is lightened and balanced and so on. It's a crank built specifically for this car. We're going with Omega pistons, we're going with electric water pump. There's all kinds of tricks and things that we're going to put into it. The reason we're going for the water pump or the electric water pump and not a mechanical pump impeller, is that when we finished a run or a circuit, you can override if you turn the engine off, obviously now there's no flow, the impeller's not turning. So the idea is that the water can continue being pushed around, and obviously the Kenlo fans which go onto the front mounted radiator and oil cooler, that'll have a separate override switch on it, so the Kenlos can be kept on and the water can go around the head and the block and keep it cool. Because you can imagine you running a car at 7,000, 8,000 RPM, whether it be a short or long period of time, they're going to get very hot, and then of course you turn them off and this is when cracking can appear. So it's to save the engine, give it longevity. So I hope you enjoy the video, and we'll catch you in the next one. So I just wanted to give you a quick look inside the car. And he's fitted the underlay in and the carpet from Newton Commercials and the heater. We've checked the back seats, they fit fine. Just kind of getting it sorted out to try out the seats and everything in it and see how everything fits. The front seats we'll leave out until we've got all the dash and everything to give us some room to move. I'm really kind of waiting on the engine. Unfortunately, they sent us the rear quarter panel internals. They sent the wrong ones. They sent, I think you can see it there, hopefully you can see it there. I was going to focus on that. But they're Mark 1 and Mark 2, and you can see that by this cut out in the corner. So I'm going to bring these back. When I come to IMM, I'll give them back to them, because Newton Commercials are going to be there and they're going to send out the correct ones for this car. So I want to show you something else here on the back of the Mini. Okay, so we just wanted to show you something here. This is a boot lid. We picked the best of the boot lids we had. This has not had a new skin on it, but it was worked on. As you can see, when Amir puts this card on, it doesn't show it very well. You can see how bad that edge is. Yeah. There, if I get out of the shadow, you can see it's quite deep inside. A lot of Minis suffer from this. So we've come up with a little idea, and he'll show you what we've come up with. It's basically an old exhaust bobbin which we've cut down. That's got a screw on it, but if you watch this now, you'll see, and as he puts his finger on it, you can see that it's one piece. See how nice and straight it is now? So I'm trying to keep out this light. But you can see now, in fact I'll go around the other side, you can see how good that is now. Just with that bobbin in there, it's just pulled the centerpiece out. So if you've got a problem with it and you can't get these boots lined up, so if he takes it back out again, he'll show you what it actually is, and then we'll close it again. So now you can see that huge gap there. You can see it. It's terrible. So this is what we come up with basically, which is just this bobbin, and we've cut it down and just painted it black, and then it'll
just
bolt.
Roughly to try.
Just to try it out,
yeah.
And it works. So yeah, there you go. So we're going to get as much as we can done until Max turns up with the engine, hopefully sometime this year.
Yeah, engine and wire.
Engine and wiring. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, sorry the light is not particularly good. Why is the lights out? Can I turn them out?
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me, I've turned the lights out by mistake. That's the light. Ah, now we're talking. The colour of this car is Rosso red, but for some reason the camera's not picking it up well. It looks so much better in real life. And hopefully we'll pick up on Friday when we go to Vienna. Hopefully we'll pick up the arches. I'll give the guy a call now to make sure they're done. But that's the remedy that we've gone with, and I think that's going to work. So there you go. It's a quick fix, not perfect, but better than nothing at all. Because trying to get that bent back out is a real issue. Anyway, I hope that helps somebody who's got these same problems with the panel gap on the boot.
Hi everybody, this is just a quick one. As some of you may know, I'm doing an engine build for Dave Jag 66 off YouTube. If you haven't seen his channel, then just type in Dave Jaguar 66 and you'll see all his videos on there. Basically this engine is going to be a hill climb engine for a car that Dave will be building this year and going into next year as well. The engine's it's been bored out to 1310cc. It's plus 40 oversized bore. The top of the block has been skimmed to correct the compression ratio. But the main thing in this video I wanted to show you is the dry deck, which is the engine's going to be having. If you can see by the end of the block there, just above where the oil pump sits, you can see a black, it's actually a metal collar. That is part of the dry deck kit. I'm going to mock it up now with a head. It's not going to be the head that's going to be used for this engine, but it's a head that has been modified out already for a dry deck setup. Basically, and I'll just show you how it works basically. So I'll just grab this other head and I'll put it on the block. It's only a mock-up. Okay, so your head sits there like that. Then you get this pipe. This is an MED kit, an MED dry deck kit. Get the pipe there, a couple of clamps which I haven't got here at the moment. But basically, you just connect that onto there. Connect that onto there. Obviously the head will be bolted down. And basically what that does, the water flows through the block. It also uses a cometic head, what they call a cometic head gasket, which has no oil waterways in it whatsoever. All the waterways are blocked off between the block and the head. So basically the water will come through the block, through this pipe, into the cylinder head. It will go through the head and back out again. Basically it's for reliability on race engines, and also the A series engines suffer from overheating on number 4 cylinder, and this eradicates that completely. so all the cylinders run at the same temperature. It's not a particularly cheap thing to do, but it does, the engine it's a lot better for it. I think the head gaskets are about £100 each. The actual dry deck kit itself, that's around about, I think that's about £90. And then you have to have the head modified for the dry deck. It has to be milled flat and a hole drilled in for the other collar to fit on there. The bottom collar, the one on the block, that just replaces one the core plug that would normally be in this position on this block. So basically, you snap the core plug out, drill and tap 2 holes for M5 thread, and obviously the head will be done the same. I mean, this head in particular has obviously already been done for dry deck. This is a turbo head. This is. It was done by Alex Boucher at TCK. But the head that will be modified for this engine will also be done by Alex Boucher at TCK, to stage 4 spec. So that was just a quick update on the Dave Jag engine. It hasn't really started yet as such, but it'll get there eventually. It'll be done by the end of the year. There's going to be a lot of nice parts going into it, and it's going to be an expensive build. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Check it again soon.